Character creation in Oblivion can seem daunting, asking the player up front to make choices that will affect the rest of their playthrough. This guide will walk you through each step of the process and help you build a character that fits your preferred playstyle, whether that's combat, magic, stealth, or a mix of all three. You are given a choice between the various races of Tamriel, and each race is good at different things. Each race starts with a different attribute spread, as well as different skill bonuses, resistances, abilities, and powers. First, I'm going to organize them into specializations, and then I'll elaborate on the specific strengths and weaknesses of each race. Before we begin speaking of race specializations, it's important to note that your choice of race doesn't have to line up perfectly with your specialization. Having a race specialized in your desired playstyle will make the early game smoother, but is in no way a make or break for a character. It's more important that you pick a race you're interested in than one that lines up rigidly with your specialization of choice, as you'll be playing them well after the advantages provided by race have faded. When choosing a race, the first question you should ask yourself is, what do I want my general specialization to be? Combat, magic, or stealth? If you want to specialize in combat, your best choices are Nord, Orc, Redguard, Dark Elf, and Imperial, with Imperials on the lower end as they sacrifice some of their skill bonuses for bonuses to Mercantile and Speechcraft, and their attribute bonus leans more on personality than strength or endurance. If you want to specialize in magic, your best choices are High Elf or Breton. Finally, if you want to specialize in stealth, your best choices are Khajiit, Wood Elf, and Argonian. Now that we're through the general specializations, I'm sure many of you are interested in playing something in between, making use of skills for multiple specializations. To find the best race for you, we'll have to get into some of the specifics about each race, starting with the races of man. I stated previously that Imperials belong in the combat specialization, but that's not entirely accurate. They do get a +5 bonus to all melee combat skills, and a +10 bonus to heavy armor, but the true specialization of Imperials is social. Imperials have the highest personality attribute of any race, as well as +10 bonuses to Speechcraft and Mercantile. For this reason, Imperials do very well in the Knight class. If you want to clear disposition checks easily and get the best prices through haggling, Imperial is a good choice. Nords are almost purely martial, possessing high strength and endurance, but low intelligence. They receive a +5 bonus to Armorer and Block, and a +10 bonus to Blade, Blunt, and Heavy Armor. Here's where the almost part of the previous statement comes in. They receive +5 bonus to their Restoration skill, making them a strong candidate for the Crusader class. Finally, they have a natural 50% resistance to frost damage, which is a very high base resistance. Bretons are firmly seated in the magic specialization, receiving bonuses in intelligence and willpower and malices in every other combat attribute. They receive bonuses in every magic skill with the exception of destruction, most notable being the +10 bonuses to conjuration, mysticism, and restoration. It's the abilities where Bretons start to shine though, starting with an additional 50 magicka up front, which is really nice if you're going to be a spellcaster, but the most significant boon Bretons receive is a natural 50% resistance to magic. I cannot overstate how huge this is, as it enables Bretons to completely invalidate enemy magic starting in the mid-game if they have the right gear. At first, the Redguards look like a purely martial race, high strength and endurance, low willpower and intelligence, but they do have potential outside of just combat. They have +5s to light and heavy armor skills as well as mercantile. They have +10s to blade, blunt, and athletics. They have a natural 75% resistance to poison and disease, and they have the adrenaline rush power, which grants a +50 bonus to every combat attribute for 60 seconds, once a day. Their skill and attribute sets match them well in the warrior, scout, and pilgrim classes. Dark Elves are special as, similar to Imperials, their skill and attribute bonuses don't lend themselves to a specific specialization and allow for a lot of interesting combinations. Their only attribute bonuses in speed and their malices are to willpower and personality/endurance, depending on gender. They receive a +10 to blade and destruction, a +5 to athletics, blunt, light armor, marksman, and mysticism, making them ideal as spell swords or rogues. They have a natural 75% fire resistance and can summon a ghost to aid them once a day. High Elves are another heavily magic-focused race. They have high intelligence, low strength, and they receive a bonus in every magic skill, with the exception of Restoration. What makes them stand out as the best spellcasters is the extra 100 points of magicka they start with, making them ideal for pure mage playstyles. This comes with a downside, however, as they also have a 25% weakness to fire, frost, and lightning damage. Wood Elves are the ideal stealth archers, receiving a plus 10 bonus to their agility and speed as well as their marksman and sneak skills. They have low strength, but that's easily made up with the correct Birthsign. They also possess the ability to command a level 5 or lower creature for 60 seconds once a day. Orcs are a martial race and make great warriors. Unlike the other martial races, they receive no bonus to blade, only a plus 10 to blunt and a plus 5 to hand. There's not much else to be said of orcs other than their high willpower stat means they have potential if used for a melee caster build. They have a natural 25% magic resistance, making them ideal for melee builds aimed towards negating enemy casters. Argonians, like Dark Elves and Imperials, are a little more complicated and don't fit neatly into a single specialization. Argonians have by far the most impactful background selection of any race. Arnesia Argonians start with a bonus to their agility and speed and have a malus to their willpower, while Thornmarsh Argonians start with a bonus to intelligence and have no willpower malus. All Argonians have a plus 10 to athletics and security, and a plus 5 to alchemy, blade, hand-to-hand, illusion, and mysticism. Finally, Argonians are able to breathe underwater. They have a 75% disease resistance, as well as a 100% poison resistance, completely invalidating all poison used against you. They have a lot of potential as Nightblades, rogues, and witch hunters. Our last race in the lineup, the Khajiit. Khajiit are highly specialized towards stealth. They are well suited to being acrobats and thieves with their high agility and bonuses to acrobatics and sneak, but they are also well suited as monks due to their plus 10 to hand, the only race to receive a plus 10 bonus in this skill. Backgrounds are new to the remaster and have replaced the gender attribute differences from Oblivion. Like the gender attribute differences, most of them are just a choice between two attributes with the notable exception of Argonians, which I highlighted earlier. Many of them are a choice between personality and some other attribute, so the only warning I have to give is that, even in the remaster, they've been unable to pull personality out of the dump stat status. For additional information on races and backgrounds, please visit the UESP page linked in the description. The second part of character creation will start shortly after your reunion with the Emperor and his blades. Emperor Uriel will speak with you and will inquire about the sign you were born under. The best advice I can give, having played Oblivion for thousands of hours, is this. Use your birth sign to shore up any weaknesses your character may have, not to increase your strengths further. Does your thief character lack the encumbrance to carry all the stuff you're going to steal? Choose the warrior. Does your knight character keep getting staggered because they have low agility? Do they move too slowly in their heavy armor? Take the thief. Does your battle mage character die too easily and regenerate magicka too slowly? Take the lady. The only exception to this rule is pure casters. If you are building a pure mage, you'll need to take one of the magicka fortifying birth signs. My advice is to take either the apprentice or the mage if you are new to the game and uncomfortable with the Atronach's non-regenerating magicka. If you are an experienced player trying to build the ultimate mage, you'll need to take the Atronach. You can also always completely ignore my advice and pick whatever sounds fun. Like I said previously, once you hit the late game, these early game bonuses will mostly not be felt, unless you are a pure caster, in which case you'll need the extra magicka as recommended. The final step of character creation is class selection. Your class determines what your character's favored attributes and major skills are. I recommend choosing a pre-built class, especially if you're new. Choosing a class can seem daunting, so I have some recommendations for new players. For players wanting to specialize in combat, both warrior and knight are solid choices, with the knight having some social skills in place of combat skills. Barbarian is a good choice if you'd rather use light armor instead of heavy armor. If you want to be a combat-focused class that makes use of some basic magic, Crusader is your best choice. Scout is a pretty fun one in my experience, though it may be a bit more of an advanced playstyle. For players wanting to specialize in magic, a large influencing factor is if you want to be a pure caster or not. If you want to be a pure caster, mage or battle mage are your go-tos, with battle mage having more of a focus on summoning your weapons, meaning I can play mental gymnastics and call it a pure caster. If you want a magic specialized class that makes use of armor and weapons, choose either spell sword or nightblade, nightblade being my personal favorite class. Stealth specialized classes range from remaining unseen to killing quickly. In the remaining unseen category, I'd advise choosing Thief if you are looking to get in and out with minimal combat. In the killing quickly category, I recommend Assassin if you're looking to brew poisons and kill from the shadows. With your class selected, character creation comes to an end, and you're just a short walk from starting your journey through Cyrodiil. Thank you to everyone who maintains the unofficial Elder Scrolls pages, without which this video would have taken much longer to create. For corrections, elaborations, or additional insights pertaining to this guide, please check the pinned comment below this video. I hope you have found this video helpful, and thank you for watching. For players wanting to specialize in magic, a large influencing factor is if you want to go to be... Whoa.